People coming in. Right. Okay. Yes, thank you. Someone has started recording. Thank you very much for doing that, because it's something, if we forget, it becomes a real problem. Hello, Katrina. How are you, Rob? Good to see all of you. All right. Okay. Good day. Yes, Kyla, it's happy, whatever you call it, Tuesday or Monday. So this is the first day of our week for this week. All right. So I have basically done few things. If you guys can look at um, the GitHub page, you will find the PowerPoint slides for today that I'll be using. I already shared one of the some of the videos for today's topic, and it's good if you had a chance to look at it. If you did not have a chance to look at it, or not a problem, because I would be discussing. Okay, genial, not a problem. But again, since it's generally considered as the first hour before, an hour before your lecture hour, is that for the preparation. So it's not that a problem, because I'll try to be very slow, and I'll try to discuss some of the very, very interesting aspects of the course. And you guys can see a PowerPoint slide. Can you just please let me know that yes, you can see a PowerPoint slide on the GitHub page? That should be called week 6, by the way. So it has to be there. It should be there now. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. On GitHub, I'm talking about my GitHub link. You can just go there and find out which one is that. Okay. So a lot of people are coming in. Can please anyone confirm that you can see the PowerPoint slide on GitHub? That would be something like this. It's there. Ivan, thank you very much. Thank you. So we are just 1 minute away. Let me have a glass of water, and then we'll start shortly. So again, those who are just joining us now, please go on the GitHub page. In week 6 folder of programming JavaScript, you will find this PowerPoint, because I wanted to just save a little bit of time typing, so I will be more discussing about that one. So this is so we are on time, and we are starting. We are also recording. I hope everyone is good to start now. So today, what we are doing is, this is our week 6. So we will be talking about React now. That's going to be a super, super cool tool that we will be discussing, and that might, generally be considered as the another technology that we have to discuss in our these two courses. And this is a very, by far this is the most fun part of it, and you guys will really enjoy that one, as I expect that you guys are enjoying the DOM part in our HTML, like front end part, and we have been doing a wonderful thing over there. And so tomorrow we'll be just maybe just do a little more stuff, and then we'll go for a little project there. But in the React, we will just from the word go, we'll try to go for a project, and we'll just learn a lot of things related to. So this will be agenda for today. We'll first of all get the introduction to React. What is React.js, by the way? There is something called components in React. We'll talk about what are the components in React, why they are important in React. And there are certain types of components. We'll talk about class and function components. What is class component, and what is a function component? How do we use them, or which one is the most widely used these days? We'll talk about that. What you should already know. So this part is, again, we'll test our knowledge that we have already gained from different resources till this point of time, like again, the first semester course, Introduction to Web, where you learned a little bit of HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript, whatever. And then till this point, whatever we have discussed in front end and this JavaScript course. So we'll see that what you should already know, writing our first React project. So we will get very quickly, we will get our hands dirty with our first React project. And that will be something that we will do today. And that will really give us, a good sense of what we are trying to learn. So after getting the project, after making first project, we'll talk about its actually the folder structure, but we'll just discuss why React. Why do we use React? What is the concept of MPA and SPA? I'll talk about both of them. It's called multi-page, architecture, and called multi-page application, single page application. We'll talk about both of them. We'll see the folder structure of the React app, which looks a bit scary in the beginning. Looks like it's too many things to grasp, but believe you me, when we'll discuss that, when just tear it apart, you will see that it's not that difficult. It's not that, difficult part to understand. Towards the end, we'll talk about JSX, which is by far the very, very important thing in React, but we'll talk about something called JSX. So overall, we are starting React, actually, the software that, as I said, is the main, would be the main pillar of this semester. Right, so let's start talking about it. React. What is React.js or React? It's a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. Just another quick word with those who have just joined us. These PowerPoint slides are there on GitHub in Programming JavaScript Week 6 folder. You will find this slides if you are looking for these slides. Anyhow, so a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. Now, I would say stop here. Okay, so Braden, I'll talk about Vue and Angular also. Well, honestly speaking, I don't have that much experience with Vue or Angular. Like, I've never worked in them. I worked mostly in React. But, I would really want to talk about them as well a little, that why or in what situations they might be better, or what situations React is better, and why is that there. So Braden, we'll touch about them, but of course, since it's not part of our topic, so we might not be going into any details here. But yes, we'll look into Vue and Angular as well. So it's a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. So I would say stop here. Aren't we learning a lot of things that were already used for making user interfaces? We have learned HTML, we have learned CSS, we have learned even JavaScript with the basics. And all of them can combine together to make good user interfaces. So why in the world I am learning this another library to make user interfaces? Is that a valid question that comes into mind? That we have learned we have been talking about this front end technology course, and we have learned HTML, we have learned CSS, and of course, both of them are, and also, as I said, combined with JavaScript a little, they are the front end technologies. So why I am bothering to learn React? That's a very valid question. And right now, I would not like to answer that in a very much detail, but I would say, okay, we somehow we have to just learn another library, but there is a whole lot interesting reason behind that. So I'm, why I just raised this question, that I want you to keep this question in your mind. When we have discussed HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, why we are learning another library of JavaScript for the interfaces? Okay, so this is a question that I'm leaving again without very much discussing, but I'll come to that. So React, one of the, maybe as we progress, you will get answer to some of the questions, but let's talk about first one. React uses a concept of components. React uses something called components. Okay, what are those components? Components are reusable content holders of sort. Reusable content holders. Still a bit vague definition. Reusable content holder, what does that mean? Here it says that if you want to see a practical implementation, or there are lots of practical implementation, look at Netflix or look at Udemy. I would go for Udemy because I don't have a Netflix account, and I'm a very not even a novice user of Netflix, so I don't know about that. But I know about Udemy or some of the courses online, so I'll talk about them. Let's talk about Udemy. Yeah, Udemy is boss. You're right. So let's talk about this one. I want to tell you something very interesting. So, for example, I want to search something related to Python. For example, I say Python. I want to search the Python. Now, I get some of the, of course, some of the courses that look like good, great to learn Python, and there are lots of courses. And I see around, anywhere about 10 or 12 courses have been shown over here. Now, what I want you guys to understand that, interestingly, once I have hit this udemy.com/courses and I've searched for Python, now this area that you look at over here, 100 days of code, the complete Python Pro bootcamp for 2023. You look at this code, this course. So what we'll do that we'll just come here and I would say I don't like any of the options given. I do want to go to the second option. I'll click on 2. Of course, I get new courses over here. Now, the point I want to make over here is that, do you know that this area is exactly the same area where we were looking at a previous course? This area is exactly the same area with different content. Now it is loaded with different content. This is the concept of a component. A component does what? It has like a template or sort something. It will just update its information, like the picture is changed, of course, the topic is changed, of course, the rating is changed, the new data has come. But actually, the component is exactly the same for this one, for this one. So again, what I'm trying to say, these components do not get updated from the server, rather they just get their value from somewhere and they get updated, and we don't make a server request. What do I mean by server request? Look at my URL, Udemy courses search $P is equal to 2, Q is equal to Python, CRC, etc. If I go and click on number three now, if I click on number 3, so I come here and I click on number 3. Look at my course, look at my URL. URL has not changed, rather it has just changed P is equal to 3, page number 3. But it's actually this page number 3 or something is not coming from the server. It's actually loaded from the client itself. Like it's not something for which every time these components are going to server and asking for new information, they are getting information from somewhere over here. Exactly. So it's like a placeholder that can have multiple types of information into it, having that template for that one. So this template or this thing is actually called components, reusable content holders. They are basically what? They will just get their values without making the request to the server. If that makes a little sense to you guys. So components are those areas on a web page that get updated without even requesting the server. They do not over and over request to the Udemy server. Rather, once when I have learned for Python, I've searched for Python, I will get this component being updated every now and then with new data. And this is exactly the same component that is appearing over here. And if I go to my first page, first search page, you'll find that it's exactly the same page as it is over here, like same component area that has been loaded multiple times. So what happens is that, again, when I say load more courses, for example, so it gives me component being repeating and just having new components, So for example, if I say number 3, it goes to number 3. By number 3, it means that it will just bring up some new contents and display that or plug it into my component. That's what the concept of the component is. A web page consisted of content. Now, I left a question alone. Why I am learning another library while I know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? Answer number one, because there is a concept of reusable content holders in React, which is called components. That's why I'm learning it. Very vague answer right now, but I'm learning React because it has something called, still, I might not be making 100%, sense of the statement, but I make sense. Okay. So that means that if I want to have some reusable component like components in my web page, I would go for React. But again, there is a whole lot of story behind that. So this is the first answer. I'll just see an example of Udemy that you can look at that Udemy, that how the pages are updated. So components can be of two types, by the way. We'll talk about both of them. Class components, a bit of legacy ones, not legacy, of course. Legacy might be a bit bold word for that. It's class components are still used, but people are more often using the function components these days rather than class components. So, but why I have definitely put it over here. And whenever you will just go to any of the learning platform and you find React tutorials, they would definitely make you understood with the class components. Why? Because still there is whole lot of programmers, they are using the class components. So there are two types of components, by the way. One are called function components. One are called class-based components or classed components. So what I mentioned here, a bit of legacy ones, but we might get a little introduction of them too. I'll let you know what are the class components, why do we use them, and why don't we use them now? Function components, they are used by most modern day programmers. Modern day programmers would prefer writing function-based components rather than the class-based components. So components, reusable holders, they can be of multiple types. They can be class component, there can be function components. I hope that's making sense to everyone. Let's go to the next slide. But you should already know. Now, here is an interesting thing. HTML, CSS, and I just did not write JS, JavaScript, obviously. We need to have understanding of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is following. JavaScript basics, data types, variables, functions, loops, etc. Now, I'll just highlight these two areas. Are these two areas we have been spending our too much energy till this point of time? What is CSS? What is HTML? How do we work with them? Why do we need a concept of them? Because in React, basically React is actually, like the basis of React actually fall in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. As I feel some of the student, when they reach to this point of time and they say that we have learned HTML and CSS and JavaScript, why in the world we are learning this React? So I would say them another very interesting answer. Since you have learned HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, that's why you are learning React. This is the other way around. What does that mean? Actually, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, they are the base of React programming. If you don't know any of these technologies, it would be rather a bit very much difficult for you to understand React in its wholeness, in its complete form. I've said too much. Can I have a quick feedback from everyone? You guys making sense of it? HTML, CSS, JavaScript are the base or the basis for learning React programming. Now, these are the few things that we have spent our time on. We have learned few things. Some JS advanced, some advanced JavaScript, which is quite interesting. Advanced JavaScript is promises asynchronous programming. We'll discuss in upcoming front end. So we will be discussing them, as we are learning in front end right now, DOM programming. I'll move on that part. I'll move to promises asynchronous. So there also we are introduced to JavaScript programming and we'll be learning. So we'll discuss that one. They would also be required for us to work on React. But then there is something that we have already talked a lot about last class also. Array methods like for each, map, and filter. We'll be using these methods a lot of time. Why? Because these methods will also play a very important role while we'll be working in React. Then fetch API making HTTP requests. This topic number last and this one, these two will be continuing alongside, parallelly. But of course, the amount of knowledge that is required to start React, we have already done. That's wonderful. No problem, Natalina. So yes, you have tried requests in Python. Yes, Lauren, it's quite more interesting over here, and we'll be continuing that parallelly in our front end sessions. So here I'll start the React, and on that other side, we will be getting some help from the front end as well, because we'll be learning a lot of things over there as well. So yes, I'll be making API requests, fetch API. There is a fetch API, and there is a making HTTP requests, getting data from one website to the other, things like that. We'll be talking about a lot of things. Make sense, everyone? So now I'll just summarize that one till this point. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript up to advanced level are the basis of React JavaScript applications, React development, and we need to understand them if we want to understand React programming. And there will be a lot of things we'll try to do. Okay, so first React project. We want to make our first React project. We don't want to wait too much, because it's an interesting ploy. Now, but wait. Let's talk about state of a component we are talking about. And I'll talk about that in code as well, but I want to give you, a little bit of taste of everything before we jump into our project. And sorry, let's talk about a state. An object that determines how a component renders and behaves. There is a concept of state, and it's exactly the state as we as human being are. You might say, I'm not in a good state today, like, with respect to maybe health, with respect to maybe sleepiness, with anything. So you say that today, I was unable to complete my sleep maybe last night. So I'm in a state of a little, dizziness or something like that. Yeah. So basically what we are saying, that state of a component is that how a component renders and behaves. What are the typical values of a component? That typical thing is called state in a React component. Now, why I discuss that? Because I would be talking about that today. Prior to React 16, now we have React 8, I think 17 or 18 version that's going on. But before this 16, we had to use class-based components to use state. We were using class-based. Do you guys remember I told you two types of components are there? Class components and function components. So before this React 16, we were using class-based components to use state. Now we can use functional components with the concept of hooks. This is all important concept of hooks. I'll just mark it bold. Hooks we'll be talking about. So state of a component in classes, they were called straight state, but in function components, they are called hooks. So how a function component is behaving, what are the typical values right now stored in function components? They are called hooks, and we'll talk about hooks in a very much detail later on. So before creating our first React project, we want to look into that one. Right? Now let's come back. Let's now make our first React project after all. We want to create does the map function create an array? And if so, does it do anything else? Yes, Natalina, map actually applies some function on the every value of an array and creates a new array. Right? And creates a new array. So Natalina, you are right. Map, yes, creates an array. And it does what? Like takes an array, already you have a collection. It takes that collection, and after taking that collection, it will just change that one, and it will just apply something, supply an operation, and it will just do that. Okay. Now, this is the command that I will be using to create my React application. So for that, first of all, even before that, if I just mention that, and I'll update this maybe slides over there, that you need to have Node.js installed, and no need to mention you have Node.js. We should have a Node.js installed in our system, and we can create our React application. Now, all of you, please open the folder, and I'm opening my, first of all, I'll open my week 6 folder. Okay, look at that. So I have this week 6 folder. In week 6 folder, first of all, I would like, please, everyone, please pay attention. I would like my cursor to be in week 6 folder as well, which is not. Right now I'm in fall 2023. main folder. You guys understand what I'm saying? So I'll have to go to CD programming, JavaScript, and CD lectures, and I would say CD week 6. I will stop here. I will stop here. I would want everyone to be inside their week 6 folder, whatever they call that, like, week 6 or whatever. So I am in week 6 folder. My cursor should be in week 6 folder. And that's very important. That's why I've stopped here, because I want you to be, everyone to be very much clear where we are right now. Can I have a thumbs up from everyone who understand where is my cursor right now? Because the commands that I will run will affect this area. So that's why I want to be very sure that everyone understands where their cursor is. Yes, I can see a lot of thumbs up, but I would like everyone to jump in, because this will be very important. If you don't do that, that would be a problem. That would become a problem. Right. Wonderful. Ashley, I see your thumbs up. Thank you. Right. Wonderful. Everyone is there. Wonderful. Now I would like, how do you know if you have Node.js installed? Oh, wonderful. Alan, that's a $1 million question right now. Alan, you have to write this. I'm doing this for you, Alan, especially. Node space dash dash version. If you check that, you will find some version of Node over there. Like I have Node 18, version 18.17. Many. What is the error? I want to see that error first. Would you mind sharing your screen, Many? Because I don't want you to leave behind. Do you mind sharing your screen? And I would. So Ellen, can you check that Node dash dash version? Oh, wonderful. And he's sharing the screen. Okay. Wonderful, Ellen. That's wonderful. Okay. Right. Oh, I got it. Can you do one thing? Can you again, Many, press a Control or Command C here? Command C. Command or Control C here. Like in the terminal, yes. Command C or Control C. I don't see you are hitting any keys. Yeah. Command C or Control C. Nothing happening. Yeah, again Control C. Again Control C. One more time Control C. Wonderful. Now listen, Manny. Listen. Right now, your cursor is in review session key in student, review session folder. Is that the right place where you want to create your React project? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. I would recommend, okay, of course, it's up to you. Like, you have to take care of the folders later on. But if you want, it is the right place, then you are then you are ready to go. Like I'll share my screen and I can start that one. So you should know that where you are installing your React project, where you are creating a React project. Make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Now I'm sharing my screen. Okay, that's good. So Manny shared the screen because there was some problem. Alan says Alan has the same version. Wonderful. So we are ready to go.
How you do?
Oh, you saying something? Manny, I think you forgot to mute yourself. Can you mute? I think by mistake.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, I've just closed my all files so that Now see here, everyone. Now run this command: npx create React app first app. Spaces. Look at the spaces. npx, after npx there is a space. Then create React app. Then there is a space, and then first app. This is what we have done. Npx create React. I'm not hitting enter unless I'm sure that every one of you has followed exactly the same thing. I will not hit enter. Okay, wonderful. I see thumbs up from some people. Now I will hit enter now. Look at that. I'm hitting enter. And after enter, be very patient. It will take a good amount of time. Hit enter and wait. If you get an error, let me know. I've hit, oh, I've got the error. Wonderful. I completely love this one. Okay, you got the same error. Okay, that's not a problem. Okay. Okay, just give me a second. Actually, I have new installations, so let me see that. Create React. Yes, Natilina, it says that, yeah, it says that you have to install. Actually, I also have to install the package. I just forgot because, let me tell you. I'll just give me a second. And because, um, I have, because, I've changed my that one. So getting started with React. Okay. All right, because I have just installed a fresh installation, so I will be just look at that. I'll just let you know that what we have to do. And yes, we have to install something, Natalina, you have to install the packages, right? That's right. And I was thinking that I will have those, but looks like I will just go. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, yes. So let's go back. Let's go back. And that's right. So I'll go back to my terminal. I'll go back to my terminal and write npm install create React app. I will do npm install create React app. And again, as you guys have been installing, create React app. Everyone install that one? No, this is npm. Even this will be npm, right? This will be npm. Right. And now if I run a command npx create React app. Okay, I'll just look at that one. App, first app. Now if I hit that one, now it is creating a React app. So again, I'll just let you know. I'll write both of the commands over here, and I'll just write over here. Okay, so did you guys try that one even? Try install this one. npm install. Rather, you can just write React 18. I'm writing the commands over here. And again, I would like to share and see. Oh, that's wonderful, Janier. It means your project is working. Oh, that's wonderful. If it says happy hacking, it means that your project is ready. Otherwise, run this command and then run this command. npm create React app and first app. So for those, it is saying happy hacking, you are good. You are all good to go. Happy hacking means you are happy to hack, right? We are ready to hack. And it will be taking and suggest to CD. Yes, exactly. Ellen, just wait for me or wait for this one. That's wonderful. All of those who have got happy hacking, they are good for the happy hacking, right? They are good to go. And please wait for me because we'll be talking about this folder structure and everything in a much detail. Okay. Wonderful, Justin. I would like to ask everyone who can see a happy hacking, they just type that happy hacking in the chat window, because that would be a success message actually today. Happy hacking is a success message today. Okay. Tina, happy hacking. Nathalina, wonderful. Wonderful, Rebecca. Okay, Christopher, you also got that. Wonderful. I'm still waiting for happy hacking, right? We are getting that happy hacking shortly. Okay, Corina, I'm still waiting. Don't worry. We are in the same boat. Don't worry. Many wait for me, like for myself as well. Yeah, I'm also waiting. So let's wait for that. Okay, so I can see happy hacking as well. Okay, not a problem. Manny, would you mind sharing your screen? That's wonderful. Can you share your screen, Manny, again? Because that would be, we want to solve this problem before we go. We want your project to be running. Okay, just give me a second and let me have a look at that. Okay, npx create React app. Okay, okay, I got it. Manny, can you hit Control C? The problem is there is a whole lot problem. You always hit Node and hit Enter. Control C. Can you hit Control C? And again Control C. Manny, wait now. Wait. Unless I say you. Write npx, or maybe you have not installed that one, right? npm. First of all, npm and space create React app. Create dash React dash app. Hit Enter. Wonderful. Now write npm. Oh, sorry, npx. Sorry, npx space create React app, again with the dashes. Create React app space first dash app, or maybe it's okay. It's okay. Not a problem. Hit Enter. Many, now you will be waiting for this happy hacking message. Shortly, you will see the same message as was on my screen, and hopefully you will see that, right? And if you don't see that, let me know. Right? Wonderful. You see that your project is under development. Now, I'll share my screen back. Now, I'm happy. I'm happy hacking that most of you have been looking at this happy hacking before me. Yeah, exactly. So that's not a problem, because spelling, it's a project name is not a problem, Rob. Actually, the problem was that he was inside React, and he hit that React or something or Node, and it was inside the node. So Manny, you always go inside the node. Never write just Node and hit Enter. That takes you inside the node environment, which really get you in trouble. All right, wonderful. So I can see a lot of people are wonderfully, they are ready for this one. And yes, there is something to note before we just move that one, because that is okay. So now, if you see that we have got happy hacking message, I have got the happy hacking message, and happy hacking today means that we are successful. Now, you see, we suggest you begin by typing this one. Now, this is very important. And I want all of you to just look at that, what they are saying. They're saying we suggest that you begin by typing cd dash cd space first. Actually, whenever you have to run a React project, you have to go inside that to run that project. What does that mean? And CD is for change directory. Change directory first step. First step is the name of my project. Right now, my cursor is in week 6, not in first app. Can I have a thumbs up from everyone if you guys are understanding? If I try running project from here, it won't run because my cursor is not inside first app. I have to take my cursor to first. So first step, look at that, CD first app. Now look at that and very carefully. Now my cursor is inside the first app folder. I really hope that everyone is understanding that. If you understand that, you are definitely gonna understand everything, because this is the crux of this one, right? So wonderful. This makes sense. First step. Now after that, it says npm start. Let's right now do that. Never worry about too much. Npm start. Now, those who have not come inside first step, they will get an error. And those who have followed it up, they will see a running project now. And let's run this project first of all and look at that. What is happening with the project? Okay, allow access again. As I have installed my allow access. Visual Studio Code wants access to control Google Chrome. Yes, 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 Jennifer, yes. If it says yes or allow, you should see now this type of project over there. I'm closing all those previous windows. You should see a spinning icon over here of this React. And by the way, for a good news is that we have all ran our first React project successfully. If you see this screen, we have run our first React project successfully. Wonderful. Angelica got that. How many of you see this screen running? Okay. Jay, the command to reach here was like first command I used was CD. I CD'd into the folder. I'll show you. It's here. So I first of all CD'd into the folder, over here, CD first tab. And then in the first tab, I have just run npm start. Wonderful spinning logo. Wonderful spinning logo. Those who are looking at spinning logo, they are successful. We have done the job. Already in your okay, what to say? Note that the development build is not optimized to create a production build. Use npm build. Webpack compiled successfully. Natalina, at what point you did get this message, Natalina? Not a problem. I would like to solve this problem before we move on. Okay. Okay. So Ryan says that Ryan has canceled that and then again did that. Yes, Manny, why not? Why not? I will just do that. And Manny, how I'll do that? For you, I'll do that a very interesting way. I'll close this one. I'm stopping my running application. And I'm closing my, even my Visual Studio Code because, I want to show you from the very beginning. And this will be a good step for those who want to see how I will run project again. I will start my project, Manny. I will start my project and look at that, what I'll do. Manny, I have a folder fall 2023. Inside that, I have a folder week 6. Inside that, I have a folder first step, right? So first of all, when you look at that, I will open my terminal over here. I'll open a terminal. So Manny, listen to this very carefully. My cursor is right now in fall 23. Rather, I have to reach all the down deep to week 6. Now look at that. I would write CD, like this is my folder, programming, JavaScript. I'm inside that folder. Now I'll say CD lectures. It has a folder called lectures and it has a folder called week 6. Now see here, Manny, you look at that. My cursor is right now over here. Now I want to go into my week 6 first application. I would come here and I would say CD first app. I would say CD first app. I want to go into CD first app. I got into that one. Manny, you look at that. I went into that one. Now I have run npm. I have to run npm start. Manny, if you are still unclear, you can share your screen and I would guide you. It will run. The project will run now if you run these commands.
I got up to that point, and
oh, that's wonderful.
Got up to the npx, create React, and then after that, how did you run the last command that you had to get to this?
The last command you are talking about, npm start. Are you talking about this command? npm start.
Okay.
Right now, can you share your screen?
Sure.
Okay, let me see what you are doing wrong. Maybe there is something wrong that you're doing. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, I got it. So, okay. So, can you hit enter now? And it will give you an error, of course. Yes. Now write CD first app, CD space first app. First app. Hit enter. Look at the okay. Look at that. You see, Manny, your cursor is now inside first app. Do you see after MacBook Air? You see first app key into students. You see that? Wonderful.
Yes.
Now you run npm start. You should have to be inside that folder. npm space start. Hit enter. Okay, so it says npm. It should be npm.
Oh,
you have written down npm. Hit enter. Wonderful. And Manny, you will see shortly, whatever your browser is, it will start the development server. Okay. And it will start the development server and show you the running website.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Is that making sense, Manny? This is wonderful. Your project is working. Now I would share my screen now. Now, after Manny, I would like to talk to everyone over here. Do you guys, everyone understand how to run the project? First of all, we have not talked about anything else, but how to run the project. Now, I see a running spinning icon. Now, to make you understand, the next part of our topic was also that we want to see that what is the project folder all about? First of all, first question, is this with everyone that everyone can see this spinning icon on their screen? Because if they are able to do that, it means they are good, they are successfully made to this point. And now we will be just moving from this point onward to that one. All right. Wonderful. That's wonderful. Now let's go back to our application. And now I would like to show you something very interesting. In this first app folder, open this first app folder. I'll talk about whole folder structure. But right now I want to convince you which page is running. Not a problem, Manny. That's not a problem. It's not dragging class behind. It's about getting with everyone. So now in this first app folder, you'll find a folder called public. Public. Open the public folder. In the public folder, you will see index.html. Can you click on that one? Index.html. Again, first app folder. Inside that, there is a public folder. Inside that, there is a folder called index.html. Now, let's come back over here, and I would like to show you something. In this index.html, go to the title, which is at line number 27 for everyone. Why not? Let's do that something. My first React application. Just change this title somehow. You change it with your name or something, whatever. You change that and look at the project. Do you see that the title is updated with that one? I just want to show you something that actually the page that is running over there is the page that is index.html. Are you guys looking at that one? And of course, some of you might be thinking, what is the other code over here? There is no code found over here. Just be with me and don't worry about that one. You understand that this page is running, this index.html is the page that is running. Now, another important point over here. If you close this public folder, and if you go to src, in src, you will find the second file as app.js. Can you click on that? App.js. And here, app.js, it's a JS file, JavaScript file. Interesting. I want you to do something. The place where it is written learn React. Can you come here and maybe write here your name? For example, whatever is your name, you can just write your name over here. And hit save. Hit save. And hit refresh here. Why it is taking, yeah. So do you guys see your name running over there? So at a very first glance, at a very first look, it looks like as if we have got this app.js that is running over there. Looks like that. I don't know. When I change this learn React to my name, line number 18, it is really showing me that. Let me just show you, and let's make some quick changes over here. So I come here and I say, okay, Nomanathik, copyright, whatever, 2023. And if I hit save, it would automatically refresh that one. So just to make you understand, to begin with, in our React application, the most important page that runs is in public, which is called index.html. I'll just close this app.js. What is index.html? This is the main HTML page that is running. Now, this HTML page has nothing but a noisescript tag. I hope you guys understood why noisescript tag is used. Noisescript tag is used where if some browser is trying to run my page, which does not support JavaScript, so noisescript runs. Right now, just understand that it's just there for some purpose. Then if you see that it has div ID is equal to root, there is a div element. Are you guys understanding? Div ID is equal to root, and there is nothing in between this div. Good. Then I told you that there is a src folder in which there is an app.js that has all this. This looks like a function in JavaScript. This much more looks like a function in JavaScript, and I'll talk about that in detail. But it has some components, and I feel that actually this code is running in between these divs. Does that make any sense to you guys? I'm just making a very quick link of between the pages of JavaScript, of React application, but I'll talk about that. Looks like this app.js somehow has been embedded over here, and this JavaScript is actually running over here because I don't see anything else at all over here. So it looks like that in this div, actually that app.js is running, app.js. Now, we'll talk about both or all of them again and again. Which file is connecting both of them? That's a $1 million question right now. If you go to the bottom on the middle of the screen, you will see index.js. If I click on index.js, I will just want to make you a very interesting thing over here. Index.js has an interesting code. It says const root is equal to react dom.create root document.get element by id root. Do you guys remember get element by id? Document.get element by id. So it goes there on the page of index.html, gets the reference of this root, and somehow creates something called React DOM. It creates a React DOM over there. And after creating them, for the timing, you can do this with me. Remove this React strict code. I'll just remove that one. I don't want to keep it over there. Now it will be a much simpler. React, I'll just remove that part of that. root.render. Go in the root area and render app. Does it look familiar? App. It is saying this app.js. So index.js is the middle person which goes and creates a root element by reading the root of index.js, index.html part, and renders an app over there. Now, what is this app? This app is actually the JavaScript React component. So what index.js does, it takes the React component and runs in the HTML file. Can I have a quick response from some of you guys? How would you understand? I'm just telling you a very overview of that. I will talk about every file in much detail. But right now, I just want to tell you how this ecosystem is connected with each other. We have an index.html, which is running main page. I told you that I've changed the like the title, and I see the title updated over here. This file has a div ID is equal to root. What it is doing, it is running an app.js component. It is running this component. But who is binding them together? Index.js. Index.js does what? It reads the document.get element by ID. Do you guys remember get element by ID? We have used that in our DOM programming. When we have started our DOM programming, we have used that one a lot of time. So in DOM programming, we have just used that. So basically what it is doing is that it is accessing that area and rendering the app over there. What app? App is this app.js component running over there. Did you guys understand a little about it's a very basic, it's the very first time. So you might not get 100% of it, but do you guys understand a little bit of that one? Index.html runs. It has a div. It has a div ID is equal to root. Index.js accesses this root and creates a root JavaScript variable and renders a component over here. Which component? The component is app.js. That is over here that I have made little changes, and I have seen that it shows me those changes that I have basically made over there. Are you guys getting that one? Okay. So again, as I said, this is the first time, and it's a bit typical, like it's a bit different, like structure, but it really works. Now here I want to tell you, this is just a first introduction. When in next class, when we'll talk about this, I'll just tear apart everything. But I want you to see something very interesting. Do you see a file called gitignore? Do you guys know what gitignore means? Gitignore means when you upload this on Git, ignore all these things from this file. Now I want to show you something. The first thing that it is ignoring is node modules. Now, the one statement that I would like all of you to take away home. And again, when you create a React project, you don't need to worry about that. It will itself give a git ignore, and it will always ignore this node modules. Never send this node modules on your GitHub or maybe to me as a project. Never worry about this node modules folder. This folder consists of actually all the node modules, and it's a huge size folder, which we don't transport with our project. Rather, we don't even put that on our GitHub. And what we do, I'll tell you later on. But right now, just understand, when I will upload this project on, like, when I will make a commit on my project, you will see this node module folder will not appear. So order of the day. Yes, order of the day. Valentine, listen. Never transport this node modules folder. Whenever you are sending a project to me, intentionally delete these node folders from that and send me rest of that. But keep in mind, you should always have this package.json that I'll talk about in detail. Don't worry. Package.json file should always be there when you are sending this folder. But in first step, never send node modules folder. Now I'll show you that how even itself it does it. So I'm making an October 10 commit today, right? And I'll show you on my GitHub folder as well. It might give me a problem, why? Because PowerPoint is also there and it is open. I'll close that quickly, maybe if that gets updated also. Yes, you see, it is giving me an error. Now I'll just make, hopefully now it should do that, because PowerPoint and such files, it will not make them. Now I'll open my GitHub. Okay, so I would like to go to my fall 2023. And look at that here. Programming JavaScript, October 10 is there. Lectures, week 6. And if I show you, this module is there, and I'll tell you why it is there. But look at the first applet, first application. You see there is no more node modules folder. And why it is coming over there? The module that I installed over there, that is coming up. But now see, there is no node modules over here. First app does not have a node modules folder inside that one. Never send node modules folder on on GitHub or anyone anywhere, because this is a huge size one. This will make your website so much heavier that I'll take complete day, whole day for downloading that one file. You know what I mean? So we have to just keep that in mind. Make sense, everyone? Oh yes, Patrick. Yes, yes. I'll definitely reply to you, Patrick, to that one. Don't worry. Don't worry. Righto. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining in today. So the code is there. You'll find everything over there. And the PowerPoint slides are also there. I have shared that on the week 6 folder. So you'll find that PowerPoint week 6 PPTX. You have got this file, which might not have any, that one. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and I'll be with you tomorrow, early morning, 9 a.m. your time. You too.